Good evening, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Rivalry Aside Chatterbox. Sponsored, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. I hope you're all good. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Before I start, you know the drill. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Be absolutely superb. Welcome, guys. Welcome aboard the gravy train, of course, guys. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone enjoyed the elements yesterday, and we are still enjoying it whilst we can, guys. You've got to smile while you still have teeth, isn't it? That's one thing I would say about it. You've got to be a little bit more positive in life. You've got to be positive in life, and you've got to, you know, take the smooth. Take a little bit of the positives whilst you still can. Whilst you can, guys, take the positives, of course, guys. That is what it is all about, of course, absolutely. But you know what, guys? We are Stretford Post, guys, and I'm just waiting on my guest, of course, no problem. Fozi, the legend, will be here very, very soon. But, guys, I'm interested to know your thoughts, guys. Some people think I'm being a little bit too harsh on some of the fan base when they talk about, you know, Ruben Amorim and stuff like that. Listen, you know what? One thing I don't mind in a democracy, an opinion that is based around facts, that is based around fairness and context. I think that's very important in life in general. The context is important in life, and I do believe that. I absolutely 100% believe that in regards to the way that people, you know, are talking about Ruben Amorim, whether it should be sacked, whether it should stay, regardless what happens with Ruben Amorim. As I've said, you know, I mean, I will support him until he's no longer in the job. But one thing I don't admire, I don't like people who have agendas, who only say a certain thing because basically, you know what, it's their opinion and they don't want to be proven wrong from their opinion. And I think that is the biggest problem that we have these days, is that people would rather worship their opinion rather than actually supporting their own football team. And that is where I you know what, I see characteristics from people. And when they come on every single day, instead of saying, you know what, great win yesterday, lots to improve, of course, bigger games to come, they'll say, well, it's only Wolves. It's only Wolves, and we've only beaten Wolves at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And that is what irritates me, to be honest with you, because it is very, very predictable. It is very, very predictable, guys. And we have to move away from that. We have to get into the realms of intelligent conversation here. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Big up, Danny B. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the house, my guy. And big up, Stephen Maguire. Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you guys. Welcome, everyone, to the stream, of course, guys. So this is what I've been saying. And some people think just because you disagree with them, just because you actually tell them about facts and you hit them with the facts, they think that you're being rude. And I just think that is really, you know, very snowflake kind of mentality. And I you know, I will always answer people, whether I agree or not. I will always talk to answer them. I would always answer any people disagree with me. I always debate the point. I would never reject anyone. I would never ignore anyone. I would never blank anyone on my streams. Absolutely not. That's not what I do. I don't do that at the end of the day. But Man United won 4-1 yesterday. And, you know, it's good to put a little bit of shine onto what happened last night yesterday. So good to put a little bit of context and look at the game in general. The game was a very dominant display. I know we only played Wolverhampton Wanderers. You don't need to tell me that. I know it's Wolverhampton Wanderers. But we won well, and that's the only thing we can do is win well. We can only win well at the end of the day. Win well, and we move on from that, of course, guys, and move on to the next game. And it should have been 6 or 7 yesterday. Let's be totally frank, guys. Absolutely. Big up, Stephen. We get the truth. Big up, Stephen. Look, I'm not always right, Stephen. I'm not the oracle. You know what I mean? I'm not always right. I don't always come out with the facts. But one thing I want, I will never hope that Man United lose just so that it feeds my ego or feeds my opinion, if you know what I mean. At the end of the day, it would never be that case for me. It would never be that, oh, you know what, you know, I want to be right, and that's all it. I don't care about your opinion. I just want to be right and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, and that's one thing that, you know, it irritates me a little bit. Big up, Bobby. What's going on? So, what a game last night. It was a fantastic game. Now, Bobby. Now it's the past. We now have to obviously move on to the next game. We have to move on to the next game and just hopefully, you know what, we do the same thing at Bournemouth, because this is where we, you know what, we're a little bit nervous when it comes to Man United, when it comes to these different games, that we drop certain points against certain teams. And, you know, and that's where, you know what, we go wrong. And hopefully we won't do that against Bournemouth. Only 2 teams saw more than United this season. That counts for something. Also, Heaven was fantastic. That kid has a great future. He scans and tries to move the ball. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm surprised that Aiden Heaven hasn't played enough. Yale, big up Yale. Hope you're doing well. I'm surprised Aiden Heaven hasn't played enough. Absolutely. If I was to pick any player at Man United who is going to be a generational, it would be Aiden Heaven, guys. It would really be Aiden Heaven, to be honest. Absolutely, it would be Aiden Heaven. But yeah, I would definitely say that he's going to be an absolute phenomenal player. He already is. He already is, guys. He already is a phenomenal player, of course. Absolutely. Big up RJ. Big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Peace and blessings, my friend. Hope you're doing well, of course. Sal, this is the same Wall team that dominated Man City in the first half. Look, at the end of the day, I would say this, Kenny, that no game in the Premier League is easy. You will never get a Premier League game that is easy. It's not going to be easy, no matter who you're playing. They played in the League Cup. They beaten the likes, they lost 4-3 to Chelsea, didn't they? They scored 3 goals against Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? Big up RJ, Sal, Rants and Bants, TV. I think they are hurt by that. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about, isn't it? You know what I mean? How can you be hurt by Man United winning a football match? I really don't think so. How can you be distraught for Man United actually winning a football match? It really does. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. But it's opinion. They can have their opinion. They don't rate Ruben Amorim. But the last thing I would do is let it ruin a win for Manchester United. Wins are not guaranteed, guys, at the end of the day. Wins are not guaranteed in football. Wins don't come like guaranteed. You don't go into a football match and you know what, you're going to win the game. Absolutely. So any win is a blessing. Any win is a true blessing, of course, guys. Big up Fozi. Fozi will be here in a minute. Big up yourself. Big up Kenny, of course. Big up yourself, of course. Big up my friend Stephanie. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Heaven through the lines past it. Absolutely what we need. He's the future, mate. He's the future. He will end up playing that left-sided centre-back position, hopefully very, very soon, and he will replace Luke Shaw, of course. He will replace Luke Shaw as long as he gets that centre-back position sorted out. He will do, of course. Absolutely. Big up Kenyon, what's going on? He would have only been happy with 8-0. At the end of the day, we can win 10-0, guys. Let me tell you this right now. We can win 10-0, right? We can win 10-0 and we can win 10 games in a row, guys, and they will still find a way to moan. This is what they do, guys. They will still find a funny way to moan, guys. That's what they do. They'll find a way to be miserable at the end of the day. I would not do that. I would not find a way to be miserable. I would always find a way to be a bit positive, a bit zealous, in my opinion. Absolutely. These guys just want to be miserable. Big up everyone in the stream, guys. The absolute legends in the stream, of course. Big up Danny B. Big up Danny. Big up Bobby, of course. Absolute. Big up the legends in the house, of course, guys. Big up yourselves. I can't stand manager out fans because of Mainu and Lacey. Now, look, at the end of the day, guys, I knew it. I knew that Man United will win yesterday. I knew that we will win, and they'll find something else to moan about. They'll just find something else to moan about. They find something to pick Ruben Amorim in, to dig in with a stick. They'll find that. Because we won comfortably, because they don't have a leg to stand on, because we won comfortably, they're moaning now. They're crying their eyes out because they had nothing else to say. Now it's like, he didn't play Shea Lacey. I guarantee you half of those fans there, guys, they haven't even seen Shea Lacey kick a ball. They haven't even seen Shea Lacey play. And they're all like, he has to play Shea Lacey. That's scandalous. He plays Shea Lacey at the end of the day. Look, guys, I want to reiterate, right? I want to reiterate this. I want you to know that I am not pro Ruben Amorim to the death. I'm not that at the end of the day. What I am is Manchester United. That's what I am. And I will always call things for objectively from all different types of angles, not just my angle, not just your angle, but all angles that represent what's best for Manchester United at the end of the day. That's what I do, guys. I do what's best for Manchester United, and I'll say what's best for Manchester United at the end of the day, guys. Chanino, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Fans getting giddy after yesterday, but objective fans will wait five or more straight wins and not the usual win-win. Heaven might have had a higher ceiling than Yoa as no pressure. Chanino, fans getting giddy after yesterday. You're talking to a guy who's seen it, done it, won a t-shirt, main. As I said on my short video yesterday, I've seen 13 titles, Chanino. I think I know what is ready to be giddy and what's not to be giddy. Unfortunately, you haven't seen that. You know what I mean? We're getting giddy. Look, we got 1 defeat in 8. Chanino, what you waiting for? Keep going on till we're undefeated all season. Is that what you're looking for at the end of the day? Chanino, at the end of the day, look, if you can't be giddy, if you can't get excited by a win of Man United's the wrong club for you, mate. I really would say that to you. Just because you were proven wrong yesterday and you have nothing to say, just because you're angry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Twisted, what's going on? I've just heard we are being looking at an item. You just heard that, but Stretford Post have been talking about it for weeks. And my friend Twisted, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Stretford Post have been talking about Salah Mala for weeks, mate. We were the first ones to mention Salah Mala on this show, of course, guys. And we mentioned him weeks ago. The community will clarify that for you, absolutely. Yale, 8-0, what world does he live in? When do you see that kind of scores in English League? I mean, at the end of the day, mate, look, no one, Wolverhampton Wanderers have not lost 8-0 this season. And this is what we're talking about. This is where the disrespect and the low IQ comes into it. This is what we're talking about at the end of the day. There's the low IQ opinion of football. We should win 8-0 against the Wolverhampton Wanderers. Otherwise, it's a failure. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? At the end of the day, it is ridiculous. Now, people are saying, "Oh, but don't get giddy." If we won 4 or 5 games in a row, we beat Liverpool away. We beat Crystal Palace. Okay, we beat Crystal Palace as well away. By the way, we beat Brighton, we beat Sunderland, we beat Burnley, guys. But you know what? We have to keep winning until we lose, and then they're going to go, "I told you so, I told you so, I told you so." That's what they're doing, isn't it? That's what they want to do. This is what it's all about. It's not about Man United winning and losing. It's basically about them being right. And that is what my biggest issue is. When fans come on and they say they just want to be proven right, and that's all it is. Big up Stephanie, big up yourself, big up Twisted. Okay, fair enough. I miss Lucy. Say hello, busy at work. Big up Twisted. It's good to see you though, mate. Really good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Hope you're on a fantastic day, my guy. Hope everything is blessed with you. I hope everything everyone is having a great day. Hope they are. Hope they enjoyed the day a little bit more better than we have done in the last few weeks, of course. Guys, it is about enjoying it. It is about enjoying it. No, we don't overreact. None of us have overreact. None of us have come out and said, we're going to win the league. None of us have said that. None of us have come out here and said that, have they? At the end of the day. Bobby, Wolves are fighting for their lives and we beat them comfortably 4-1 with it. Exactly. And you know as well as I do, Bobby, that you know what these teams, they come out there, especially against Man United, and they'll be fighting for their lives. Exactly. And to win 4-1 and to win the way we did and comfortably win, you know what, it was a good performance, all-round good performance. For people to come out here and say, oh, you know what, we're getting too giddy and this and that. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Just because at the end of the day, listen, if anything, right, guys, I've witnessed 13 titles. I told you guys earlier, I've witnessed 13 titles in my life. Do you know what I mean? 13. If you haven't witnessed 13 titles, I don't think you really should talking about how giddy we can get and how giddy we shouldn't get, because I am, for one, definitely happy about the win yesterday. And I've witnessed 13 titles, unlike some people, guys, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I witnessed every single one. Yale, we lost 1 game in 9. That is not bad at all. It's not bad. I think it's 1 game in 8. But anyway, regardless, Yale is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Long may it continue. Of course, we've got Bournemouth, which will be a little bit more of a trickier game. We win that game, and then people are going, well, he has to use, and he has to win the next 5 again. He has to win the next 5 again. Of course. Do you know what I mean? RJ. So I think we're gonna get to Labour in January. Let's wait and see, mate. Let's wait and see. There's lots of ins and outs and twists and turns, of course. Janino. Wolves are usually a boga team for United with low scores. Even Wolves will climb the table if they get 3 wins. Right, it's that kind of season. It is that kind of season, Chininho. Better comment, my guy. Even when we were playing under Alex Ferguson, Chininho, when we were playing under Alex Ferguson, we really struggled against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and they have actually beaten us in the past. If people know about the history and stuff like that, they have actually beaten us in the past. They've beaten us, guys. So, you know what I mean? To win 4-1, it was a nice result. But, guys, look, we're not resting on our laurels. We're not saying, oh, my goodness me, we're going to win the league. As I said, we're saying, okay, we won a good game yesterday, but I've seen a lot of pessimism. I'm seeing a lot of people trying to twist it and trying to make it into a negative at the end of the day. It's the man dem talk, as I said from the beginning. The man dem talk, the man dem millions. And that's what it is. The man dem minions, that's what they are, guys. The man dem minions are the ones that want to bring a down on it because they don't want to say that they were wrong because it will jeopardize their platforms. You know what I mean? You were wrong. You're wrong. As I've said many, many times on this channel, guys, I've said it many, many times. I would happily, you know what? Be wrong 1,000 times out of 1,000, just as long as it meant Manchester United winning things. And that is how it should be with every single fan in the country who supports every single club. That's how it should be. You should want only the best for your football club at the end of the day. And it should be only about Manchester United winning, of course, guys. Absolutely. And, you know, for me, I don't care as long as Man United win. I don't care about my opinion. I don't care. Man United are far bigger than my opinion. Man United are far bigger than your opinion. At the end of the day, my opinion doesn't mean nothing compared to what Man United are. It means nothing. I'm just a voice at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And that goes with every single person. But one thing that is a common bond between all of us is that we want our football team to win. And we always want our football team to win. Regardless, we want our football team to win at the end of the day. And that's what it's all about. Yale, was the FA Cup draw last night? Anyone know who we got? We got Brighton and Hove Albion. Yale, I told you we'd get a Premier League team. I said we'd get a Premier League team, didn't I? We got Brighton and Hove Albion, my friend. Brighton and Hove Albion. Yeah, tough game. United play Leeds United in January. Can't wait for that one. Big up, Stephen. Yeah, but Stephen, we got quite a difficult run of games during the AFCON as well. We got a few games going on in the AFCON that are going to be difficult for Manchester United. Of course, it is. I would say that we got Leeds obviously away. We got Aston Villa away as well. We got Man City. We got Arsenal coming up during the AFCON as well, guys. So we got some tough games coming, as well as Villa, of course, away from home. So. We got some tough games coming up. That's where we're going to ultimately be judged at the end of the day, and that's it. And I'm not coming on here as confident we're going to win. I always predict we're going to win, but I'm not like chest out, we're going to win that game, and 100% we're going to win that game regardless by hook or by crook. And it's not like that at the end of the day with me. It's basically like they're going to be tough games. The AFCON is going on. We're going to lose in Bremo, we're going to lose Ahmad, and we're going to lose Mazuri. So it's going to be a difficult game. And to be honest with you, difficult games, to be honest with you. And survival of the fittest at the end of the day, isn't it? Survival of the fittest in the Premier League. Absolutely. Chanino, Sal, have you watched the Moroccan striker, Hamza Igamane? Not yet, mate. At Lille, after leaving Rangers after a few months, his play is started, reminds me of Firmino. He's one to watch. Big up, Chanino. Thank you for the heads up, my guy. I haven't watched him yet. I will check him out, though, definitely. Little bit skeptical about coming from Scotland, Rangers, of course, which is not a very strong leave. But, we've spoken about Saïd El-Mala. Of course, Saïd El-Mala is a generational. Bayuldi is a generational as well. He's a future French international as well. So we got a lot of we've got a lot of big games coming up, guys. We definitely have. We've got a lot of big games coming up. You know what I mean? And big signings hopefully will be coming up very, very soon for us, man. Really hope so. I would love to go and beat Villa and move closer to bump them in third. I mean, at the end of the day, look, you know what, Yale, you know how close football is. Fickle football is as well when you think about the Nottingham Forest game, the Spurs game, the West Ham game. Just a couple of wins there, and we're all the way up the top, and we're competing at the top. That's how fickle football is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, fine lines, fine margins all the time. That's what it is. It's fine lines, fine margins, of course, and that's what it is every single time, guys. Absolutely. And hopefully, Man United, prove us all wrong. To be honest with you, look, guys, look, I'm not, as I said, look, I hope Man United win the next 5 games. I hope Man United win the next 10 games. Do I think it's likely? Absolutely not. It's not likely that Man United are going to win the next 10 games. We've got some tough games coming up, and also we've got the AFCON coming up, which is going to obviously be more difficult, of course. It's always difficult with Man United, but what we have to do, we have to take the small blessings. We have to take the small positives out of everything at the end of the day, guys. That's what we have to do. We have to take the positives and we have to move on from there, of course, guys. Absolutely. So there we are, of course. Let me just check something, guys. Let me just check where my guy is. Absolutely. Yeah, he's not here yet, but he'll be here in a minute anyway. No problem. No problem at all. Okay. Yale. Look, at the end of the day, we got some tough games coming up, guys. We have got some tough games coming up, and it's how we negotiate those games that really will separate the men from the boys, and to be honest with you, that's what I would say. And if we can go away to Villa, Newcastle's a big game as well. Newcastle's a difficult game to go to as well. And if we go there and negotiate those games effectively, I'll be more confident. I know that we should have beat Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton Wanderers was an absolute given. If we're not going to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers, who we're going to beat at the end of the day. But as I said, I'm not going to be negative about it because we won. I'm going to be celebrating it. I'm not going to be celebrating to the rooftops. Absolutely not. I'm not going to be absolutely singing my heart out and stuff like we're going to win the league. I'm not going to do that at the end of the day. And that basically what it is for me. Do you know what I mean? And I just support my football club, and that's how it should be at the end of the day, guys. I support my football club, and we move from there. We move, of course, guys. And, we go on to the next one against Bournemouth, of course, and it's going to be a difficult game. And the Bournemouth game, Bournemouth will be having something to prove. They haven't won in 6 games, by the way, Bournemouth, they haven't won in 6 games. So, look, they're not in the best place at all. Of course, there was all them rumours about Areola this, Areola that, you know what I mean? And he's 6 games up, he's 6 games without a win. And then you look at Glasner and players like that, who Ruben Amorim beat just the other day. Chanino, United must be having a sigh of relief for dodging Delap. Chelsea fans getting tired of him now. Too many games for young players can be harmful in the two. Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely, mate. I agree with that. Absolutely, Chinino. I wasn't a big fan of Delap anyway, but when we were linked to Delap, I wasn't one screaming from the rooftop saying, I want Delap, I want Delap. I'm happy with Sesko. But of course, Sesko's also injured as well. I don't know what's going on with these players. They're injured every 5 minutes at the end of the day, guys. We play Wolves again. Yes, we do, Yale. Yes, we do. We play Wolves again, not too distant future. But during Christmas, I think it actually be a harder game at Old Trafford for some reason. I just think I got that feeling. During Christmas, we got Newcastle. That is going to be a fight. I'm looking forward to that game. Yeah, and it's the great thing about it, Yale, it's at Old Trafford. I mean, make of that what you will. But we're not very good at St. James's Park, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think we're very good at St. James's Park. So hopefully Man United can negotiate those games and get something from those games. You know, I'm not saying that Man United have to go out there and win every single game. We got some incredibly difficult games to come, and Newcastle will be looking to prove a point, as they always do against Manchester United, of course, because they're trying to force a rivalry with Man United, aren't they? That's what they do, trying to force a rivalry with Manchester United. That's what Newcastle United do. That's what their fans do, of course, guys. Absolutely. But yeah, look, guys, at the end of the day, I would say that, yeah, look, you know, Newcastle away, Aston Villa away are the two games I look at. We've also got Man City coming up as well in January, guys. Let's not forget about that as well. And we also got Arsenal coming up in it, of course, as well. Just after the AFCON finishes, I think on the 24th of January, we got Arsenal coming up as well, guys. Yo, Joe Blackman, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see Joe Blackman back in the house, man. Back in the house. Joe Blackman, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well, my friend. You need to jump on the channel sometime, Joe Blackman. You and KG need to jump on the channel. You need to show the channel some love, man. What's going on? I hope you're doing well, Joe. Good to see you, man. Good to see you nice and healthy. Big up yourself. And why your stream so early in the morning these days, man? Early in the morning, 3 a.m. business, 2 a.m. business. My goodness me. Ridiculous. What's going on? I hope you're well. Admired the hard work, my friend. As usual, good to see you. Bobby. I think we have Newcastle at home. Yeah, we have Newcastle at home. We have Aston Villa away. We have Man City at home. We have also we have what's the other game? What's the other game we got? We got Arsenal away. That's going to be obviously difficult. You know what I mean, guys? Absolutely not bad. I'll be happy to pull up anytime, bro. Good to see. Wicked man. Definitely, man. Definitely. Look, you know what? Good to see you, man. I don't see you around much. I don't see you on KG's channel anymore. I don't see you much on KG's channel anymore. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know you're still there, but, you know, I just don't see you anymore and stuff like that on the KG channel and stuff like that, man. But definitely good to see you, man. Good to see you, of course, guys. Absolutely. But big up, Joe Blackman, of course. And, of course, Joe, if you want to jump on, you're more than welcome, my friend. More than welcome. Anytime, of course. Absolutely. Anytime. Like, absolutely. But, yeah, guys, look, ultimately, you know, I would say that, you know, it's going to be difficult. We're not getting carried away because we beat Wolverhampton Wanderers. I know a lot of people were offended that Man United won against Wolves yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people were a little bit angry that Man United won the game yesterday. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I mean, we just won a football match of crying out loud. You know what I mean? It was a game that we should win. Of course, we should win. We shouldn't have. Look, we shouldn't have conceded the goal. That is the main talking point, isn't it now? Oh, but we conceded the goal for the first time since October. Chelsea have conceded a goal and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? United, Wolves have scored a goal and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It does make me laugh. It really does. It does make me laugh if I'm being real with you guys, because at the end of the day, we win the game. You're always going to concede goals. Man United are not the strongest defensively. However, I would say that Aiden Heaven's an absolute superstar in the making, and I can't wait to see more of Aiden Heaven. He should be playing ahead of Leach Shaw anyway, because he is a left-sided centre-back, guys. He is a left-sided centre-back, and yeah, absolutely, Aiden Heaven should be playing more. As we predicted, guys, as we should. It should be De Ligt and Aiden Heaven in that team. Luke Shaw should be dropped out of the team anyway. That's what should happen, man. Luke Shaw should be dropped out of that team, and time to move on. Time to move with the times. That's one thing about it. Obviously, the biggest thing yesterday that came out of the game was everyone was saying, oh, but you know what? He should have played Sheer Lacey. But like I said earlier, guys, none of these people have seen Sheer Lacey play at the end of the day. So what's your thoughts on Samuel Lasale? And he can break into the first team. Very, very good, mate. Very good. There's a lot of players that are coming through the ranks at Man United at the moment. We got, obviously, Kolungi, Fredrickson. We got, obviously, the Fletcher brothers as well. We got Musa as well. Of course, very good player. Ibrahimov is a very good player as well. But, guys, above anything, we got JJ Gabriel. Now, JJ Gabriel is going to be an absolute superstar, and I will start integrating him into the squad myself. That's what I'll do. I'll start integrating him into the squad and start putting him on the bench a little bit. And you know what? Here and there, Five slyly bring him into the team, like 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, a bit like trying to entice him to stay at Man United, because obviously there's going to be a lot of interest in old JJ Gabriel, isn't it? You know, and we need to keep him because he's the next Lamine Yamal, in my opinion, and we need to keep him and we need to nurture him properly, of course. Yeah, look, you know, it is difficult. It is very difficult for Ruben Amorim. Let me tell you that right now, to bring players in this environment. It isn't the best environment in the world at Man United at the moment. We don't have the best, like, sort of, how would I say it? Sort of energy at the moment. At Man United. Who can sell Ugarte to? Galatasaray interested in Ugarte, Kenyan, 40 million euros at the moment. Galatasaray, I would sell him, snap your hand off. He hasn't worked out, simple as that. And we have to hold that, and he hasn't worked out. As much as I wanted Ugarte to work out, it just hasn't worked out, sadly, and we have to you know, move on from him. You know, that happens in life. We signed Juan Sebastian Veron once, and he was an absolute world beater. You know what I mean? And he didn't make it at Man United. It's just the way it is at the end of the day. Yeah, I hope we can keep him. I really do hope so, Joe. I hope we can keep him, because he's the next one through. He's the next one through. He's the next big player, and hopefully he stays at Man United. We need him at the football club. Definitely, we need JJ Gabriel to stay at the football club. Absolutely. Samuel. Godwill Kulungi should be replaced Luke Shaw at centre back. Godwill Kulungi is an absolute amazing player, as is Montato as well, who can play on that right wing back position. Very, very good player as well. Man United have got a very great conveyor belt of players coming in, so there's nothing to worry about, to be honest. Whatever happens with Ruben Amorim, whether Ruben Amorim stays or Ruben Amorim goes, Man United have got a very, very bright future in regards to the players that are coming through, guys. Absolutely. Benny. Biancheri, Kolunki, plenty of young lads coming through, absolutely, but the academy needs to be in line with the first in place. This is a very good point, Benny. This is a very, very good point, what you're talking about, because at the end of the day, I spoke about this the other day. Are Man United going to follow the route of Ruben Amorim's system, or are they going to change it? Because when you think about Barcelona, you think about Real Madrid and all these teams there, they have a philosophy of football that they play from the ground upwards, probably from under 10s all the way up to, you know, the senior team. So when you bring through players from the youth team, they can easily integrate into the first team because they've been playing that formation right from the youth. Are Man United going to do the 3-4-2-1? And are they going to do that from the youth? And then are they going to do that going up? You know, are they going to commit to it? Because you can either do two things. You can either half commit to something or commit to something 100% at the end of the day, isn't it? Big up, Tyrell. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see the Arsenal fan in the house, of course, guys. How you feeling, mate? How you feeling? Are you recovered from the weekend? Have you recovered? It's tough. It's a tough league, the Premier League, isn't it, mate? It's a tough league. Lacey is very slight and small, although talented. Doubt if he has the physicality yet, but curious. Chanino, yeah, absolutely. And that's a very good point, Chanino. Absolutely spot on, because we're looking at players at the moment, and physically, a lot of the players that are coming through are not there yet, but that does take time, of course. Players are very lightweight. I remember when David Beckham broke into the side, he was very, very lightweight. He was a lightweight player, very skinny. He went to Preston North End. He bulked up a little bit, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. Jozo has always played well in Europe for Manchester United. He absolutely was. Listen, so Juan Sebastian Veron will walk into this Man United team. Let me tell you that right now. Juan Sebastian Veron would walk into this Man United team. By hook or by crook, he will walk into this Manchester United team, of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, absolutely. Let me just text. All right. Belfast in England get hit with a storm now. Internet is a bit weak at the moment. Oh, really? Is that true? You got hit with a storm? I haven't seen rain, Stephen. Everyone's seen rain. That's a program, by the way. But I haven't seen rain for 2 years now, Stephen. 2 years I have not seen rain in the Abu Dhabi. I haven't seen, you know what I mean? It's been a while. We are hoping for a little bit of rain. Do you know what I mean? We got Brighton in the FA Cup. Big up, Kenny. Benny, I watch the games all the time. Maybe Amorim decide to concentrate on the first team first, and hopefully we'll address these. Now, what I'm hearing is that Ruben Amorim wants to integrate the young players into the team when the environment is good for them to do so. Bringing through young players in a toxic environment, which Man United, if you want to believe it or not, Man United do have a toxic environment at the moment. It's not the best environment to bring Man United into. And when you're looking at the team and you're looking at the players at Man United, how many of those players are leaders? How many of those players can nurture you and have challenged for league titles and Champions Leagues and things like none of them, isn't it? So we're trying to build up the first team, as you said there, Benny, and eventually those players will be slowly integrated into the team, i.e. Aiden Heaven and players like that. They'll be slowly integrated into the team, of course. I hope so anyway. Baleba versus Liverpool will be interesting this weekend, Sal. It absolutely would. I was very impressed, but against West Ham United, I thought Baleba played well. I mean, one of his better performances, obviously, it was a draw in the end between Brighton and Hove Albion and West Ham. But I felt that Baleba controlled the midfield pretty well, and I saw some good things about Baleba. I really want him to pick himself up because obviously there's been a lot of scrutiny about Baleba since he started this season. Obviously, his head's been turned, mentally he's not right and stuff like that. I mean, I was obviously, people know me from last season, man. I was the Baleba thumbnail king. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? So I was the Baleba thumbnail. I was representing Baleba. I should have worked for Baleba, do you know, Baleba magazine, for goodness sake. The amount of thumbnails I've done with Baleba on the front of my thumbnail, for goodness sake. I've got Baleba in all different like poses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I've got, do you know what I mean? It's just full up my phone with Baleba pictures and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, look, I hope he picks it up. He's a good player. You don't become a bad player overnight, and that's what it is at the end of the day. Sal, Joe, what do you make of the Kobe situation? For me, it's a difficult one, my friend, Joe, mate. It's a difficult one for me, bro. Honestly, I don't know what's going on there. There's obviously some sort of friction between Ruben Amorim and Kobe Mainoo. However, if I was to pick the bones out of anything what Ruben Amorim is doing at the moment, it is indeed the midfield situation with Kobe Mainoo. And I think that it would be a godsend for Kobe Mainoo to start in that midfield position and Bruno move to the number 10 position. That's what should happen. Ultimately, it should happen. Someone has to drop to the bench. Or if you like, play Bruno as the false number 9 and drop one of those players. And that's what I would do because, look, at the end of the day, I'm a big advocate for the youth team, you know, in regards to Manchester United. And I want them to I want them to play more. I don't think he's been fairly treated this season. However, I have heard a couple of things behind the scenes, what's been going on in regards to professionalism and stuff like that. The contract negotiations last season, which obviously, put a damper on things and everything like that. He played 90 minutes against Grimsby Town, of course, played against Brentford, gave away a goal as well when he gave away the ball. But obviously, it's very difficult to get into games and to get an element of form when you're in and out of the team, you know? And that's the problem, isn't it? You got to give him a consistent run of games, and that's only fair. And this Bruno situation, of course, is a problem. If you look at Man United, in a little bit kamikaze at the moment. It's a little bit kamikaze because obviously the midfield position, we're a bit like Bagel FC, as we always are at the end of the day, guys. And I would say that, I really wish the best for Kobe Mainoo. I think anyone who gets him is going to have a fantastic player ahead. Unfortunately, in regards to Kobe Mainoo, he will not be playing in the World Cup, which is really disappointing for me because I actually believe he would have been great for England in the World Cup, especially Henderson is getting there and stuff like that. And he deserved to be there considering that he helped England get to the Euros final in the Euros, of course, guys. But look, I don't know what's going on there, mate. I don't know what's going on there. I hope it's nothing sinister. I hope that nothing serious is going on. But it does look like he's out of favour. And it does look like he will be moved on, whether that is on loan or whether he's going to be sold, of course. Absolutely. Samuel, Nicky Butt should be working at Manchester United as a coach for either the under-18s or the under. He needs to get his facts straight, though, Nicky Butt. He did speak a lot of lies in the last show he was on, of course. He weren't really telling the truth about Kobe Mainoo. Kenny, the good thing is that I haven't seen much Mainoo off the pitch issues with Amorim. Look, there was a little episode that happened last year in regards to Kobe Mainoo and his attitude and all that. But obviously, I'm one of those people who don't believe everything I hear. You know what I mean? And I don't believe everything. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. Let me add Joe Blackman to the stage. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's happening, Sal? Sorry I can't get my camera on, but I'm just on my phone at the moment. So I thought I'd just give a quick call because I like to pick your brain just quickly, if that's all right.
Go on then, man.
Do you know what? I've always wondered, what's your stance on Amorim at the moment, considering the position he left us in last season and his performances this season? Where do you stand on Amorim?
Bro, you know what it is, yeah? I'm neither in or out. I'm like, what will be, will be. Ultimately, he has to get results, innit? If he carries on winning games, then that's great. If he carries on being undefeated, that's great. But I'm not like affiliated with him in any such way. I think there's certain things about his management style which I don't like. I think he's a little bit biased with some players. But I'm looking at the team, Joe. I'm looking at the team, right? And I'm seeing 70% of that team is not even his, you know? And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, who else can he pick? You know, who's going to play at left wing back? It's only him and Dalot and Dorgu. Who's going to play at right wing back? It's just Ahmad. You know, and then you look at the defense and you look at, obviously, We got Aiden Heaven, of course, and Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's been there since Louis van Gaal days, mate. So I compared it with what Arteta did when he first walked into Arsenal. And in the second season, he had cleared out half of his team already. And we haven't done that. So look, whether Ruben Amorim's the right guy or not, it's up in the air. I don't know. You know what I mean? He might be the guy to be the next Alex Ferguson. Probably not. But he might be a flop as well. But what I would say is that in regards to Ineos, I don't think they backed him to the level that they should have been backed. I think 4 out of 10 window was what I gave it at the time. I still believe that, Joe. The one thing for me, which I don't like, honestly, Joe, I don't like Bruno in the midfield. I don't think it works.
I hate it. He should be much closer to goal. Yeah, he should be played much higher up the pitch. He's a guy that, look, the reason why he keeps doing Hollywood passes and stuff like that is because he's in and amongst the action. He's either creating or he's finishing. He's that kind of player. He's been that kind of player ever since we bought him, right? So for him to be now basically instrumental to any build-up that we have is also kind of crazy because he's never been that kind of player that's always been consistent with his vision. Let's just put it that way. I mean, he's good. He's good with his vision. I'm not dissing Bruno Fernandes. I'm a big supporter of Bruno Fernandes, right? But we've all been there when we're like, oh my God, why is he trying this Hollywood pass? Why is he always doing that? You need someone like a Kevin De Bruyne in that midfield, or someone even more like a what's his name again from Barcelona that we tried to get so much time, Ten Hag.
My goodness me.
De Jong. That's it, right? Yeah. So when someone like that in the midfield is instrumental to build up play and hold and keep possession, you know, that's the kind of player you want in midfield, yeah? Disciplined and regiment, 7 out of 10 every match, just steady Eddie, yeah? Bruno is going to be either at 10 out of 10 or he's going to be a 6 out of 10. He's that kind of player, innit, yeah? He's hit or miss sometimes. And we can't have that in the midfield week in, week out. If you want to make sure that you need a Carrick. Do you know what I mean? Someone that's not about trying to be Hollywood. Someone that's trying to just do their job.
But England tried it. England tried it when they had the golden generation. They tried to squeeze in Gerrard, Lampard and Scholes into the midfield, and it doesn't work. And even Rooney back in... and even Rooney moved into midfield, and despite Rooney being so talented, he didn't fit into midfield. I think it's a little bit of disrespect that players are shoehorned into midfield because the midfield position is a specialist position. You need to have 360 blinkers around in that midfield. I just think that Bruno Fernandes is ill-disciplined in position and he creates space for the opposition and he stifles his partner in midfield, whether that be Ugarte, whether that be Mainu, whether that be Casemiro. I actually think he stifles the partner in midfield. I'll be honest with you. And I think that
also leaves them exposed sometimes because he's so pragmatic. Well, he's not pragmatic, sorry. He's so chaotic when it comes to his attacking prowess. You know what I mean? If he sees the ball, he's going after the ball, and then he runs back, and then he's also, like you said, stifling your players by interrupting what they're doing as well. He's not that sure player you need in the midfield. I don't even know if he's a good captain, but he's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player, and the fact that we need him every single match is also a problem. Because you're saying that you don't like players being shoehorned into the midfield, but isn't Amorim's whole system about shoehorning players into different positions? Do you know what I mean? People talk about his wing backs. They need to be wingers. You know what I mean? The midfielders apparently need to be attacking midfielders, and the attacking midfielders need to be strikers, ex-strikers, like the likes of Cunha. Do you know what I mean? What's going on? I
think he needs his wing backs. I think he needs like a mixture of both. I think he needs like a Van Nessel sort of thing, because obviously at Sporting Lisbon he had Giovanni Quenda, of course, and he had players of that ilk who can do both jobs. At the moment, we're actually playing wingers on the wing back positions, which I don't think is great. If it works, if it manages to work down the line, and the players get used to it, then great. But I've always believed, Joe, I come from a generation, mate, where he's right plays on the right, left plays on the left. You know what I mean? And get that ball whipped in first time. Do you know what I mean? I'm that sort of guy, because at the end of the day, you play football. It's, I was a defender. I found it easier to defend against the inadverted wingers. When I was a defender, I found it easier.
They're always going to cut in. They're going to cut in. They're predictable. They're going to cut in. They're going to shoot. Do you know what I mean? Or
and the other thing I would say,
the pass. Sorry.
Exactly. And the other thing I would say is that the only bone I have about the formation, but I don't think the formation is the biggest issue. I think it's basically a talent thing as well. I do think we got a lot of bums in our team anyway. But the overlapping runs for me, when we're in the attacking third, we used to have like a Patrice Evra or a Dennis Irwin or a Gary Neville going on the overlapping run, and
even a Valencia. Remember Valencia? He's dying for a Valencia right now. Valencia would be perfect for this formation for him.
Oh yeah. He was like, again, Luke. Like, we're talking about this like it's a new thing. Obviously, Ashley Young was a winger and he moved into wing back, and so did Valencia. He was a winger and he moved into right wing back. You know, it happens. It happens. The only difference is that we're playing the three at the back with the two wingers, and that's what it is at the end of the day. But you know what, Joe? You know what? I tell you what. If he carries on getting results, then we can't say nothing, and that is the only thing he can do, is get results. Otherwise, if he doesn't get results, people are just going to be getting more and more disgruntled. There's a big Amram out movement going on at the moment. Anyway,
I mean, look, I'm not a big supporter of the manager. I think I've made myself quite vocal when it comes to Ruben Amorim at the moment. And I'm not going to try and say that I am going to say Ruben Amorim out like every day, every week. Yeah, I've kind of lost faith in his system from last season, if I'm being quite honest. Yeah, I kind of feel like as well, you know, we have to blame Ineos in a lot of this. Let's not take away the shine from Ineos at the moment, because let's be honest, they threw him under the bus as far as I'm concerned as well. And it's like you said, they've left him short this season, you know, more than anything else. Yeah, think about the amount of wingers and attackers we got rid of last season. Yeah, and what you replaced it with 3 players, right? We lost about 5 attackers last season. Yeah,
exactly.
The likes of Rashford, Anthony, Sancho. Who else?
We lost Varane as well. We lost him. He wasn't replaced, and we also, you know, so we basically got less players now than we did last season. That's basically what it is. We got Anthony, Rashford, Rasmus, Varane. That's 4 players already. That's our window. Obviously, we signed a goalkeeper.
Don't forget Sancho.
Sancho as well. Yeah. Regardless of what people think about him, he played well against Arsenal on the weekend.
And you know, and Garnacho. That's it. And Garnacho. How can we forget Garnacho?
6 players.
So imagine,
and they're not being replaced.
Listen, Garnacho, as much as anybody wants to say anything about him, his GA would be much welcome this season instead of Cunha's. Yeah? And at least an option off the bench. At least an option. You know, when you're looking at our bench now and he goes, who else am I supposed to choose? Well, you had Garnacho, you let him go. Yeah? I understand that you're having fallouts with people, but where is there no turning around with these players? You know, sometimes you have fallouts with players, but sometimes you turn it back around. Is it every player you fall out with you just get rid of? Is that it?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But you know what? I think there's a mentality problem at Man United anyway. I've always said it. There was a problem from the top to the bottom. I think there is, and it's been going on for years. I think players are overly pampered, not only at Man United, at other clubs as well. Sancho, look, when you think about Sancho, you think about Garnacho. I was an advocate for Sancho for months and months. In fact, years. I was saying Jadon Sancho at Man United. He's going to cook at Man United. You know, and then we got him, and then he just down tooled. And now, even you're seeing now, you're looking at Mbeumo and like, what's going on with Mbeumo? I mean, you're like, he's starting to get a little bit funny now as well. He's starting to give away the ball and everything like that. And I'm just thinking that it's
infectious. It's infectious at Man.
Exactly. like Garnacho didn't improve at Man United. He was actually worse than when he first broke into the team, and that's the same with Rashford. I actually think Rashford was better when he first broke into the team. You know, and that's what happened. And I think that is not something that is a Ruben Amorim thing. This is something that's been going on for years.
I think that's also a product of us breaking kids in the way we break kids, have been breaking kids in, you know, superstar mentality and all that. They've hit the first team, they hit big money, they've hit big cars, they've hit, you know, they almost feel untouchable when it comes to managers. They've seen about 3 managers come and go by the time they hit the first team. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, now I'm the big don here. I've been scoring goals. They feel like a superstar. And, you know, we're also maybe partly to blame for that as a fan base, the way we laud some of these players. But, you know, if you don't support your team, who else is going to support your team and prop your players up? You know what I mean? Other teams talk about their players the same way we do. And they don't seem to fall into that I don't know what it is, you know what I mean? I can't even describe it. That mentality of just like, once they've hit the grand stage, they feel like they've made it.
That's
hunger.
what it is.
I feel like the reason why you can say that you got the best out of Rashford in his younger years is because I feel like the hunger's gone. The hunger went. The hunger went. So Garnacho, the hunger went. They thought they made it. That's, in my opinion, obviously I can't say anything's true, allegedly, right? But in my opinion, I believe that is part to do with the reason why they get to that stage in their brain where they think that they can now relax, or they're not giving their utmost, or you got the best out of them when they were younger. And for someone like Garnacho, you can't even really say he's still young. Do you know what I mean? He's got so much to prove. So It's crazy that we're talking about them like this, like they've already done everything.
At the end of the day, look, Joe, I want to ask you one question, right? In regards to the fans, right? Do you think there's a certain section of fan base, regardless of what we think about Ruben Amorim, right? Do you think there's a certain section of the fan base that want Man United to lose so that Ruben Amorim gets sacked?
Oh, that's without question.
Wow.
That's 100% yes in that. I would say yes in that statement, bro. There's no denying it. You get people that come onto my channel, KG's channel. I don't know about you, but I get people that come on and say stuff like, I know we're going to lose. 1-1 up. They come into the chat. They say 1-1 incoming. Yeah. They're preying on the downfall just so they can get Ruben Amorim fired. And I'm for what, look, I don't care if I get things wrong. Yeah, I might not trust something, but I can never go into a match thinking, oh, God, I hope we lose so we can get rid of this person or get rid of that person. Yeah. No, I want to win every single match we're in, so that even if I get proved wrong, at least I can say, at least my team did well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. Joe, I'm going to get my guest on now. Thanks for joining me, man.
Bro.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear from you again, man. It's good to see you, man.
We'll talk soon, bro.
Jump on anytime, Joe.
Take care.
Take care, brother. Take care. Thanks, man. That was Joe Blackman. Big up Joe Blackman. I haven't seen him a long time. I haven't spoken to Joe Blackman in ages. Seems like years, of course, guys. Absolutely. Don't forget to go and follow. I'll put his link in the description. Joe Blackman, of course, guys. Absolutely. Part of the reckless delegates, of course, with KG and everything like that. So big up Joe Blackman. And look, my esteemed guest. There you go. Walking in like a boss. There you go, my friend. What's going on, Fozi? What's going on, my friend?
Man, there's a crime scene at Anfield, bro. There's a crime scene, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know, I've seen it. Do you know what I mean? I was just sitting on the beach today. Sorry, mate. But I was
damn you.
No, and I was just like, oh, what's going on with Liverpool? Every time I'm hearing these things, now I'm hearing about Carragher. What's going on with that? You know what I mean? Jamie Carragher, of all people, talking about Mohamed Salah. What do you make of that? First of all, what's your stance on it and the whole situation? Obviously, starting from Arne Slot, Mohamed Salah, and now Jamie Carragher.
That interview Salah did was not right. You know what I mean? We're a big football club. I hope we are still. You know what I mean? I hope we're still intact. You don't say what you say, like you deserve a start. You know what I mean? The club is throwing me under the bus and all that stuff. Those are the kind of things you never say ever as a footballer. You know, especially at a club that made you into the footballer that you are. Without Liverpool, I don't think Salah will be where he is. You know what I mean? Because all he was saying, what I did for the football club, and I think to myself, bro, is what Liverpool did for you too. You know what I mean? And I don't know what was said to him, but then again, you know, him playing on the right side has been an issue because we've been conceding a lot of goals from that right-hand side, as everybody knows. The lack of defensive awareness has cost us a lot of points this season. And sometimes what you got to look at from the head coach is he's under pressure. He might lose his job. So he's got to do by any means to keep his job, which means he needs to put a team out there. As I said when I was here last time, that's hard to beat. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to go with the same team every single time that's getting beat every week and we're open for everybody to come in, it's going to be a long season, if you know what I mean? And it's going to be a season we're going to regret. So he had to nip it in the bud somehow. If it means taking out Salah off the team, and, you know, that's going to save your job, first of all, and make the team start performing into a level where we could stop conceding goals and stop the losses. It's happened. Because if you look at, since Salah's not been in the team, 2 draws and 1 win. So Arne Slot has done his job. He's done his job. You know what I mean? The losses have stopped. So that's a base to build up on. And this is why I was thinking about Salah. Salah, you haven't come out when we was losing games. Why are you just all of a sudden coming out now because we drew with Leeds 3-3? You had all that time before to come out and say something. Yeah, bro, like everything around the football club at the moment is in disarray. A lot of people I see around social media are saying, Man United are back, Liverpool are done. Which is weird, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear things like that. I want my team.
Listen, we've been there, mate. We've gone out to last season when he spoke out against the manager on ESPN FC and stuff, of all people, ESPN. We've had, obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo and Piers Morgan love affair. You know, we've had all that business. We know. How about a Mohamed Salah, Piers Morgan United front? You know what I mean? Going to
only if he leaves the football club. Only if he leaves. I'll be happy with that if he says that. You know what I mean? If he tells the truth like when he leaves. But doing it now when you're still at Liverpool Football Club, it's not the way. We move on to Carragher. Do I agree with what Carragher said? I agree with majority of it. The one I disagree with when he's talking about him about Egypt and things like that, personal stuff, if you know what I mean, that's nothing to do with Liverpool Football Club. You don't say that. You know what I mean? So you can see there's a personal issue there already. Even that in the Monday Night Football, he was saying, nah, there's no personal issue. I've always supported Salah, etc. But I see a lot of times actually talk about Salah in a negative way as well. So don't start saying all of a sudden.
Let me ask you the question. Let me ask you a question, Fozi. If this was Robbie Fowler, right? Do you think there would be the same reaction if he did the same thing? If it was Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman, Jamie Redknapp, whoever it is, right, from back in the day, do you think there'd be the same reaction as Mohamed Salah? Now, given that Mohamed Salah, for me, is a Premier League, one of the top Premier League players of all time, Liverpool legend, undoubtedly a Liverpool legend.
Yeah.
Do you think there'd be the same reaction? I mean, obviously, I always see it from a human side, because when I'm looking at Mohamed Salah, he's obviously very frustrated and he wants to win. And you know, you have to bear that in mind as well. These are not robots, innit? And they're showing passion. At least he's showing he cares, obviously. But obviously, you shouldn't air your dirty laundry in public. You never should, because obviously people jump on that and it just turns into toxic stuff, as it already is. It's a domino effect. But do you think that the reaction has been a little bit over the top in regards to what he said? Because he didn't really say anything too bad, did he? He was like, you know, I should be playing, and that's basically it. You know what I mean? I've done what I've done for the football club and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
You know, the club's already in disarray, innit? We're already struggling anyway. We don't need to add on to things like that. That's something that you do it behind closed doors. If you got a problem with the head coach, go and speak to him. Like, you got a job. Would you air your dirty laundry in public, you know what I mean, and say things about your own boss? You wouldn't, because you lose your job. that's most likely that's what's going to happen. But people forget, and I said it on the time when everybody was supporting Salah in this you know, outrage that he went through. Everybody said, "Oh yes, now he said something. Arne Slot is going to get sacked." And I said, No. These are the moments when a manager is going to be more ahead of him than the player, because the manager hasn't said anything. The manager was already on the verge of getting sacked. Now you added fuel to the fire, which means the player is, you know, the one that's going the other direction. The manager is going the other direction, which is going, you know, to stay longer at the job. Now they're doing internal investigation, thinking about, there's a lot of players that feel like Mo Salah about Arne Slot. We have to investigate this, because they might be throwing the manager under the bus. Do you know what I mean? So it reversed psychology, as they say. Not only that, bro, the thing is, we're no longer talking about Arne Slot anymore. We're talking about, you know, Mo Salah. So he's already given the ammunition to Arne Slot now to stay longer. I mean, that's the situation we're at. We all wanted Arne Slot out. Now Arne Slot might stay 5 to 6 games to, you know, rectify the issue that he has, which is, you know, he can't manage the team. He can't really, has got no tactics to do right on the pitch. So that's what's happened now. If he kept his mouth shut, we would have been still talking about Arne Slot getting sacked right now. But no, we're talking about Mo Salah.
Well, we got a Mo versus Fozi derby today, Inter Milan against Liverpool. How do you feel about that game tonight? I mean, obviously, Liverpool should win the game, really, if Inter are not all that. I mean, in Serie A is not what it used to be, obviously. But tonight, do you think that if Arne Slot loses the game, do you think it's over for him? If he loses the game, obviously, that would make it extremely difficult to qualify for the next day. I think you'll get into the top 16 anyway of the Champions League. I think it's a 16, isn't it? go into the playoffs. The 8 go into the playoffs, isn't it?
Depends who you get in it, really.
Yeah. I think you play. So the 16 go into a draw. I think the top 8 go through, and then the next 8. I mean, I've never agreed with the whole thing anyway. But do you think he would lose his job if he loses tonight to Inter Milan? Right? Is he gone?
No, because he's got the ammunition now to stay longer because after what Salah has done. So now, like I said to you, there's internal investigations going on, obviously inside the club, seeing who's playing for him and who's not playing for him. How can you go from a Premier League champions to this mess that we're watching right now, Sal? It's beyond belief. It's not even like we're struggling, with something we're supposed to struggle with. We're struggling to beat the bottom teams, bro. Imagine when we play better teams than that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's a lot of things that's coming to the picture now that's going to make Arne's slot stay slightly longer, unfortunately. Listen, no matter what happens in the next 4 to 5 games, he's not going to get the sack. It has to be something dramatic. And not only that, he's got the evidence in the past few games. He hasn't lost. So since he took Salah out, he's drawn 2 games. Should have won the Leeds game. Let's be honest there, guys. Like, I understand about Sunderland game, but the Leeds game was 2-0 up in the second half. And then we still lost that lead, you know what I mean? And it became 3-3. So, yeah, I don't think this is a factor anymore, these games. I think I got a feeling. I don't know what's telling me this. I think we're going to beat Inter Milan tonight. And I think we're going to go on a run of wins because of like what's happened recently, obviously with Salah and the football club. The players have to wake up now because they're all under pressure now. It's not just one player anymore. For them to make a statement out of Salah, leaving him behind and leaving Gakpo behind, pretending he's injured and Chiesa and that's a statement. That's a statement from the head coach and the hierarchy saying like it's time to start getting a grip now. If it has to be sacrificing players' positions, we're going to do it now. So yeah, that's what I see. I think everyone's under pressure now, not just the manager anymore. I think the players are under pressure now. So they got to start performing if they want to stay at Liverpool Football Club. Because the only way for them now, nobody wants to take Konate anymore. You know what I mean? Real Madrid said we're stepping aside for that shit now. We don't need this player anymore. So you know what I mean? There's a lot of players that's going to go downhill from here because outside Liverpool, it's going to be downhill because the big teams don't want them anymore. So they got to start performing. Otherwise, if it continues, they'll be going as well.
So Chanino said Carragher was like a prophet as he predicted Salah would do this weeks ago. Bring self-serving and Salah proved him right. Slot has credit in the bank as a title-winning manager at Liverpool. Don't you think that, having said that, Chanino, don't you think that Salah has credit in the bank? Obviously, Champions League winner, league winner with Liverpool, probably Liverpool's best player in the last,
you know what?
years.
You know what Salah should have done in this occasion? In this situation, what he should have done? He should have been a senior player. You know what I mean? Think about the love for your football club, the club that made you to the player that the club that made you nearly win the Ballon d'Or, but you've won every other trophy with, if you know what I mean, and you're 33 years old. You should have just done, you know what? I'm off the team. I might not be doing well into the team, but at the same time, I will nurture the youngsters for the next generation. When I leave this club, it'll be in a good place. You know what I mean? Like your old players did, like Cantona did, like these other players did. You know what I mean? Like Kenny did for Liverpool, Gerrard did for Liverpool. Not so much Gerrard because that team was trash, but what Jurgen did mainly. So he could have, if he did something like that, bro, I swear to you, Sal, he could have got more respect. But he didn't even put himself in a respectful position because he still thinks at age of 33, the team should be built around him. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen, bro. The team ain't going to be built around you at age of 33. That's beyond belief if you think like that. So if he did it in a way of that, I think he would have got more respect from the fan base and more respect from the hierarchies and more respect from the head coach. He would say, you know what, this guy is doing the right thing. I got to get him back in the team. You know what I mean? Because he hasn't sulked. He actually fought back to get into the team. And not only that, he's helped me with the youngsters. That's the future as well. That's what I would have done if I was a senior player in the team. But for some reason, this guy is about himself. And now it's showing to the world what he's all about. And a lot of people that was on his side right now have turned against him. I don't know if you've seen that, Sal, around social media. In the beginning, they were on his side. Now, they said, no, this can't go on. I think they've seen the footage more than one time that made them change their mind. Because if you're watching the footage once, you already made a decision, oh, Salah is right. But if you keep watching it again, it was more about me than Liverpool Football Club.
And I think this is what happened in Man United last year with Garnacho. They made it about himself. I played all season and I didn't play in the final, all that business. So we know exactly where you're coming from with that, because at the end of the day, I've said it. If you've got a problem with the manager, you're speaking behind the closed door, say, what's going on, mate? I've done so much for this football club. Why are you leaving me out? Face to face, man to man. You know what I mean? I say, like, why are you leaving me out? mate, I've done so much. And he's going to say, well, you're not before, you know what I mean? We might be moving you on and stuff like that. I would say this from the outside. Obviously, I look at Jurgen Klopp, and even as a United fan, I look at Jurgen Klopp, and I think Jurgen Klopp's the sort of guy I would like to have a chat about football with. I've said it many times. And he's the sort of guy, he's interesting. He's warm, you warm to him. When you look at Arne Slot, he just comes across dismissive kind of character, a little bit arrogant. I mean, I know that loads of managers are arrogant these days. He just doesn't come across as a Jurgen Klopp type character. Yeah. And I think the fact that these players, including Mohamed Salah, have had Jurgen Klopp for so long, I think it's very difficult for them to warm to Arne Slot. I did predict this. It's come later than I expected in regards to that, because when I listen to Arne Slot, it's not like I like him. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, no, I mean, obviously it's a Liverpool. I'm not meant to like any Liverpool manager, but at the end of the day, Jurgen Klopp was likable character, just like Jose Mourinho was. Yeah. What about if this came to you, Fozi, right? If Xabi Alonso gets sacked at Real Madrid, can you see Xabi Alonso coming to Liverpool with his free at the back system? You know, he isn't playing the free at the back system at Real Madrid, is he? He's playing the 4-4-2. They won't let him. 4-3-3. They won't let him, will they? So would you, if, like, listen, gun to head, would you swap Arne Slot for Xabi Alonso?
Oh, right 100%. 100%, bro. Because at least we know he's got a tactical know-how, you know what I mean? And the fans will warm towards him. We need someone like you just said about Jurgen. What was so strong about Jurgen? What was so strong about Ferguson? They had that relationship with the fan base. This guy, we've got no relationship with him, bro. We won the Premier League and we still don't know him really, what he's all about, because there's no like connection between us and him. So I'm Arne Slot out. I've been Arne Slot out for the last 3 to 4 weeks. And I said, I gave you a couple of international footballs, bro, to change things, and you're not changing anything. But, with Xabi Alonso, with the free at the back, I don't know how you guys, we're going to speak about Man United anyway, but I'm not a free at the back guy. We created free at the back with, Phil Babb, John Scales, Mark Wright, Bionaby, Jason McAteer. You remember? You, even though we beat you, but you always said to us, we're going to win the league at the end of the season. We don't care if you beat us. That's how confident you guys were against that formation back in the day. So is it easy formation? Let me ask you a question, yeah? You play free at the back. I know we're talking about Xabi Alonso, but I want to ask you about this formation, yeah? You play free at the back, yeah? You get found out the next season because other teams are going to study your formation. Where do you go from there, bro? What's the tactical things after that?
I think it has to be done to perfection. I think the three at the back is a unique style of play. It's not like the old three at the back though, where you had three with the two wing backs and three in the middle. We're playing like a 3-4-2-1, which is like two wingers as the wing back sort of thing. Not like Jason McAteer, Stig and Bjornaby, someone like that. We've actually got wingers as wing backs, so to speak. So it can be very attacking if it's played right. I said before Ruben Amorim walked into the football club, I don't like three at the back. I mean, Man United are not three at the back, and that's the way I said it. But I thought, okay, he's done it at Sporting Lisbon. It worked at Sporting Lisbon. He's been successful there in the Champions League as well. Maybe this is some kind of revolutionary new tactic that works if you get the right players for it. Unfortunately, our board have not backed him to the level that they should have backed him to complement the system. They haven't done that. We still got players there who've been there for 12 years. We've got players who've been there since 2014 with Louis van Gaal, trying to play the system that they've never played, Personally, I think it's an international system, or an early 90s system, like with AC Milan and Ajax and things like that. But it is what it is. The problem I'm having at the moment, we are not losing a lot of games. We're like 1 loss in 8 games. We're drawing quite a few, but we are improving. We're scoring more goals. Lots of people said yesterday, it's only Wolves. I don't want to hear that. At the end of the day, Man United won 4-1, should have won 8-1 in the game. Done well. Give credit where it's due. I think the problem with Man United is that the manager's not going to get the time and he's not going to get the facilities to even know if that formation works. He's not going to get the wing backs, the midfielders. He's not going to get the defenders and the strikers. He's not going to get it, sadly. And we're going to be moving on to a next manager who's going to have a different formation. And it's going to be back to square one. And I've always said, if you have a philosophy, if you have an idea about football, You do it from the ground upwards, from the under 10s all the way upwards. You go on, and you just do it, just like La Masia, just like Barcelona, where you got players who've been playing
easier for the players that's graduating, easier for them to come into the
integrated, straight into the team. I've been playing right wing back since I was 10. Yeah. So it's going to be easy for me just to slot into this team. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. And that's why Barcelona are so successful bringing through players, because they do things like that. Man United's biggest problem is the division in Man United's fan base. I don't know if you got this at Liverpool. I want to be proven right more than I want my football team to succeed.
Yes.
Sort of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that is what I have a problem with. You could be manager out. You can want Ruben Amorim out, Arne Slot out. But when you want your team to lose, just so you can prove a point, you know what I mean? That is what irritates me.
It's a modern day football thing. You know that, Sal. It's a modern day football thing. I've noticed that, because in our time, I never used to hear things like this. I don't even know what the hell this is. Sometimes I sit there, when I go on these shows with the younger people, I bet time passes you by, you don't even talk anything to yourself. Are they seriously talking like this? Like, throwing games or sack a manager until you get the right one and all this stuff. I said, like, is this today's football? Like, am I hearing this right? Isn't football about time and patience to get to the success that you want to get to eventually? Do you know what I mean? Things like that. That's how we're used to things. But what I realized is this generation of fans are completely different to what we see. We're footballing people, by the way, Sal. We've grown up with football. We're born into football. The difference with these guys, they're more...
So we lost Fozi there. We lost him there. Oh, sorry, Fozi, we lost you there for a second. Go on, man. Sorry, this generation. Sorry, man.
Yeah, so what I was saying about this generation is completely different. I don't want to criticize every generation, you know what I mean? But I realized, like, it's more stat-based. It's more about, you getting what you want rather than what your football should be getting. Do you understand what I'm saying, Sal? That's what I see about this current generation. And it's weird. It's very strange. Like I said to you earlier, we sit through like shows. Sometimes it goes so fast. We don't even say a word because we can't believe what's being said. And I think Amorim will get it right at your football club. It just needs time, like you said, and patience. And he needs to get different ideas or different formations as well as while he's learning, because if you keep playing the same formation every single time, you get found out. When you get found out, then you go downhill from there. So as long as he's got different tactics, like like what Ferguson used to do back in the day, he used to reinvent himself every few years, right? Get different coaching and things like that, different ideas in. As long as because this guy's young, I don't know how old he is. He's got to be in his 40s.
Just turned.
Yeah. So he's got a long way to go as a head coach. So if he implements these ideas and you guys believe in him with these ideas, this could be a long success if it works out to your advantage, if you know what I mean. But unfortunately, we're in a world of football, like I said, it's different, man. We're in a bizarro land nowadays. He ain't gonna get the time, you know that. He's gonna be sacked, you know that, yeah.
He's going to be sacked. Look, if he doesn't get Champions League or Europa League, he might still even be sacked with that. But I think he will end up going, and we're going to be back to square one. And Genius is Tacticos, you know what I mean, in their 20s. They're going to be like happy, and then we're going to have a new manager bounce, and then we're just going to be back here in a year's time saying the same old nonsense. Exactly. And that's what it is. I said last week, why don't we just sack the players for a change? Sack the players until we get it right instead of sacking the manager, get it right. I know it's expensive, but that's what's needed at Man United. I think that's what's needed. These players, they flat out to deceive. They go for 20, 30-minute periods in games where they just completely look lost. And this happened under Eric Ten Hag. This happened under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Jose Mourinho and stuff like that. But I don't know, mate. I hope he succeeds. I really do. I'm not going to cry my eyes out if he gets sacked. I have no affiliation with these millionaires anyway. You know what I mean? I hope he succeeds, and I really do, because I like him as a person. I think he seems like a sound guy, and I just hope that he does, because there's no one out there, mate. There's no one out there. We're going into the bottom basement now. In regards to managers, there's no one out there who stands out right now. Like Ariola hasn't won in 6 games. You know what I mean? Glasner lost to Ruben Amorim just last week.
There you go.
And so who's coming through? And it's the same with Liverpool at the end of the day. We're not going to get Xavi Alonso. He's an ex-Liverpool player. Someone just said there, do you think Man United will sign Mohamed Salah? Listen, I've got more chance of signing for Man United than Mohamed Salah. Let me tell you that right now. No, Mohamed Salah will not sign for Manchester United.
I don't think if you're saying that, I don't think the two teams. When was the last time we got players
It has to be indirect. It has to be you went there, then went there, then went there.
Then come back and like Owen and Ince. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Not like, you know what I mean? Unless you're a youth player, that's a different story. But yeah, no, it doesn't happen at Man United. And if Mohamed Salah went to Man United, it'd be a bit like Figo when he went to Real Madrid.
Yeah, but the thing is that the exchange with Real Madrid and Barcelona is normal anyway. Luis Enrique, Marco Laudrup, so they do that anyway. You know what I mean? So it's nothing new over there. But Liverpool and Man United, the last time we swapped a player, I think it's back in the 60s or 50s, something like that, along those lines. So it's so far away, man. This never happens. It never happens, man.
Ruben Amorim is a top-notch manager, Donin. We just won yesterday, Donin. Ruben Amorim is a top-notch manager. We can get that French manager who used to manage Cameroon, if you like, the one with the blonde hair and all that like that. We can get him. These World Cup managers are just, nah, mate. Glenn Hoddle, you know what I mean? Man, come on. No, you know what I mean? Like World Cup managers, goodness me. Didier Deschamps, these kind of managers, they're not going to work, man. They're not going to work. Ruben Amorim, trust in Ruben Amorim. Trust in what we're doing at the moment. We're 8 games with 1 defeat, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? And things are starting to get better. And guys, listen, I've seen 13 titles, Donin. 13. I know you said that you've seen titles and all that, Donin, because you said you've supported Man United for 60 odd years. But I've seen 13. And shouldn't it be me? Shouldn't it be me who's demanding more? Because I've seen levels. I've seen us be successful. Shouldn't it be me who's been called in for the manager's head? He should be sacked. Why am I being patient? Why am I being patient? But the man them over there are calling for his head.
Different generation, bro.
You know what I mean? And it's oh, man. Some of these Man United fans, and I see them. I mean, some of them are like, bless them. They're like 20, 25 years old. No offense. They just get the manager out of my club, get him out. He's a fraud. He's a this. I'm seeing them on Twitter trying to reassure themselves after yesterday's game. I mean, if I woke up from a cocoon, right, this morning, I would have thought Man United lost the game 4-1 if I looked at social media.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the truth.
I said it to Terry Flewis yesterday.
Around social media. It's true, especially what I see around social media. Get him out. They're still, what? You've just won 4-1. How the hell did this get him out still? Listen, bro, I've said it for a while. I think, the reason you're calm is because the time, you're from a different time, bro. You're from a different time zone. Same as me. People ask me, why are you always relaxed? Why are you always so laid back? Because I've seen my club success in the 80s. I've seen my club go down in the 90s and the noughties. I've seen everything. I'm grateful for what I've got. Sometimes us older ones have to stay around to remind what these football clubs are all about, how big these football clubs are. Because the way people talk right now is something I've never seen in my life. Like, you've just won a game 4-1 and you want the manager out. So how are you going to build? Let me give you like example. You want to win things again, right? And you get rid of Amorim again. That means you're going to be set back 5 years again, if you know what I mean. So why do you want to keep going back to the future, like, the movie? Like, why you go forward? Go forward. That's what you're supposed to do. Stick with the manager. At some stage, he will get it right. That's what happens in everything in life. Look at Arteta at Arsenal. He might get it right this season. 6 years later, 7th year, he might get it right.
And when he gets it right, he's going to carry on getting it right.
There you go.
What happened with Man City when they first won the first league title? They went on, and you know what I mean. And that's what
right now, yeah. Because every other manager has declined since. You know what I mean? Pep Guardiola is going to leave. Arne Slot is probably going to leave. So that opens the pathway for your dominance, right? That's what's going to happen with Arsenal if they win the league this season. So this is what I'm saying. Don't keep setting your club back 5 years again and again. Just stick with what you got and see how far you can go. There's a progression in place for Man United right now. Stick with it. See what happens.
And this is the thing. The thing is, Fozi, you know what? You need your players, especially when you're playing for Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, City. Because the difference between Everton and Bournemouth and Wolves and teams like that, they're not really going for anything. So they can make do with the players that they've got because they're just looking to survive or come mid-table and stuff like that. Yeah. Liverpool, Man United, City, Arsenal, and these teams are looking to win the league. So to win the league, you need everything on point. You need all the players that are your players, for example. For example, if I walked into Liverpool as a new manager and I said, right, Peter Crouch, right, I want you to play like prime Ronaldinho. That's what I want. All right, I need you to play like Ronaldinho. You see where Ronaldinho plays football? I need you to play like that, son. Play like that. And he's like, but boss, I'm not that type of player. I don't play that style. I mean, just play that style. You need to play that style. It's part of my philosophy, the way I play football. You need to play like that. Yeah. And this is the thing. This is the insanity that we're talking about. Like, and that goes with the right wing backs and the midfielders and the strikers and everything like that. And this is the thing. If he hasn't got the players, the tools to do the job, you're throwing him into a sword fight with a breadstick. And this is the problem, you know. And at the end of the day, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the second manager thing, because Ruben Amorim, and everyone wanted Ruben Amorim at Man United. They'd be lying if they didn't say it. Everyone to a man, just like they wanted Eric Ten Hag. They wanted Ruben Amorim. And to be honest with you, I just think, like, I'd be honest with you, Fozi, I look at it from a bird's eye point of view. I'm looking at these new school Man United fans, and I'm thinking, mate, you don't deserve success. Nope. You don't deserve it, mate. Nope. You don't deserve it. You're entitled, right? You don't even know about where, like, when I was supporting Man United in the late 80s, I supported them because of the history. I didn't support them because they're successful. Unfortunately, we got an influx of fans from the last 15 years that only started supporting Man United because they saw them in the Champions League in 2008 and win the Champions League, and that's what they are, and that's all they know, and that's all they can remember. I actually remember the bad times, you know what I mean? I remember those bad times, you know, and I look at these spoiled, overprivileged fans, and I'm saying to myself, do you know what? You don't deserve success. Part of me feels like, nah, man. Part of me feels like, if we don't win anything, that's because of you, mate. You know what I mean? That's because of you, because you don't understand what we need to do and the patience that is involved, you know. And this is a problem. Like you said earlier.
Like you just said,
Yeah, like you said earlier, I mean, wanting instantaneous success, instant validation. That's what they're looking for. It's a bit like the Photoshop generation, the ChatGPT generation. I mean, if I was born in this era, I'd probably be a multi-billionaire right now, the way things are. Do you know what I mean? And it's so easy to do things nowadays. And this is the thing. People get things too easy these days. It's too easy to do things these days. That's why, you know, as soon as you don't, you know, things don't go your way one game, and Man United didn't win 10-1 against Wolves. Oh, you know what I mean? You know what the excuse was yesterday, Fozi, right? Number one, it was we conceded a goal against Wolves. We won 4-1, right? That was number one. Secondly, we didn't bring on a young lad named Shea Lacey. He's a young lad who comes from the youth. Why didn't Ruben Amorim bring him on? You know, he should have just brought him on. None of these so-called fans have never seen Shea Lacey play properly, right? But they're saying, oh, they should have brought him on. Should have brought him on. No, you know, what is wrong with him? You know, so they just twisted it into a negative again. And unfortunately, it drives me mad. You know what I mean? I'm going to end up getting my platform banned the way I go on sometimes with them when they come on my thing. They don't come on my channel, Fozi, and say, oh, you know what? We played well yesterday. It's a good game. We've got some tough games to come. Of course, there's a lot still to be done. A lot of improvements to be made. But I was glad with the result yesterday. It's like, it's only Wolves. Who gives shit about Wolves? I judge them when they play the bigger teams.
But wasn't you struggling against teams like this not so long ago? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we lost them.
There you go. So I don't understand this maniac notion of you know, judging teams like that. But, you know, like, if you look at this kid you're saying, like, and he plays and he has a bad game, what would the fan base say? Why do you bring him on? He's not good enough. They turn on that player straight away. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. You got to be careful how you nurture players into the team. The only time you bring these youngsters into the team is when you're winning. Then, you know, that you have that mentality, you know, the environment of winners around the pitch, and they will raise their game to that level to do that. I remember the season we played Chelsea in the cup final, Liverpool and Chelsea, with kids. Remember? It was about 3 seasons ago, I believe. We beat Chelsea. You know, they had their first team as out, senior players out, and we beat them in the cup final with the kids. Those kids have been all sold to teams after that with a lot of money, because it exposed them to the world. Like, if the team is doing well, that means everybody else is going to do well around you. But when the team is doing badly and you try to bring these kids into a team that's doing badly, it ain't going to be pretty. So what Amorim did the other day is the right thing. He's not ready yet. It's not time for him yet. Give him time and patience to be the player that you all expect him to be. But if you're rushing him straight away and he makes mistakes, and then you're going to decide for yourself, saying, he's not good enough, man. Why are we bringing him on? I remember Jadon Danns at Liverpool. He was doing pretty well until he played against PSV away in the Champions League. He played a pretty bad game. After that, nobody talks about him anymore. There was a Harry Kane. Remember Harry Kane? We were saying he's something. He reminds me of Harry Kane. He reminds me of this Robbie Fowler, all these guys. And then all of a sudden, you hear of him again? I can't. He's my player. I don't know where he is now.
You know, at the end of the day, this is the thing. It's not only about bringing them into the team; it's bringing them into an environment of where they can thrive. And you know, a lot of people like to bring on Man United. It's Man United's heritage. We bring through youngsters and stuff like that, forgetting that when we brought through the class of '92, they were brought in with a team full of Cantona, Pallister, Bruce, Giggs, Cole, Schmeichel, Irwin. I can get going on. Do you know what I mean? It's a completely different. Era. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And who they're going to be brought in now? Who they got? Oh, you got petulant Bruno, throws his arms around, blame you. He's blaming Aiden Heaven yesterday, young lad in defence who's playing for us.
It would have been a blessing if you got rid of him, you know. It would have been a blessing for you guys if you got rid of him in the summer. I honestly think that. I think, you know, these kind of egos around the football club is what makes other players don't work to the standards they should be working at. You know what I'm saying? Because they only look at him. He's the captain. He's the one who tells you what to do on the pitch and all that stuff. And then it downgrades your actual performance on the pitch, if you know what I mean, Sal. You know what I mean? Yeah. If he wasn't there, I think every other player would have said, you know what, I've got to pull myself together here. Now he's gone. That kind of person is not no longer at the football club. I have to raise my game to become a mainstay in the first team. And not only that, have the responsibilities on the pitch as well, if you know what I mean. That's what it could have been if he left, actually, Man United. Big egos are the destroyer of a football club, in my opinion. There's a certain age that you need to get rid of them. When they've still got a resale value, sell them. If they're 30, 29, something like that, get rid of them straight away. It doesn't matter what age they are or anything like that. If the club is not successful, you got to keep rolling, bro. You got to keep going, because the younger you get, the more fresher you are, the more success you could have in the future as well.
And the thing is the problem is obviously money. It's a big problem. I have no problem with these players being rich and stuff, but I think they're rich too soon, and it takes away a little bit of the edge from the game. And you know, when they're getting signing on fees before they've even kicked a football, you know, becoming millionaires before they even kicked the football. I mean, obviously, it's going to take an element of edge away from their play, isn't it? And I think obviously this is not their fault. This is the environment that they're in now, and obviously they're just going to look at other players on money and they're going to say, I want that contract. They've all got agents these days. Man United never used to have agents. Paul Scholes never had an agent, you know.
Because they trusted Fergie. Yeah,
they trusted Fergie. And as you've seen with the overlap, Gary Neville didn't even look at the contract. He used to just sign the contract and that was it. You know what I mean? And it was like that back in there. But these days, it's like they're pampered too soon. You know, it's who you know as well. A lot of these players are related to someone. That's why they became footballers and stuff like that. I think the biggest problem in football now is the grassroots, the death of the grassroots footballer. Yeah. And, you know, the footballer that used to play down at Hackney Marshes and places like that and be discovered. I think that those days are over. In my opinion, you know what I mean?
I used to play in Hackney Marshes back in the day.
Yeah. So you probably played with me, mate, back in the day.
We don't know, bro. We don't know. I mean, we could have played against each other. You never know, bro.
You never know, man. You never know. I lived in Leighton, innit? So obviously around the corner, just a small walk away by Leighton Orient. You know what I mean?
That's why they spotted Ian Wright as well, isn't it? Ian Wright became a professional at a later age. I think in his 20s or something.
Yeah, Ugai Ekiok did. Actually, you know, Lionel Messi visited Hackney Marshes, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, with a helicopter. Watch it on Google. He visited there. That's how famous Hackney Marshes is. He wanted to go to Hackney Marshes.
Because he's heard about it. Yeah,
he's heard about it.
Yeah, a lot of footballers came from that place, isn't it, man?
You remember the advert with Cantona and all that, and Robbie Fowler? Do you remember that down at Hackney Marshes? There was legend.
Every footballer in London at some stage has played there in a younger age or in an older age. I'm telling you guys. It's a famous area, man, where every footballer has been there once in their life, at least. But yeah, listen, bro. Watching Man United yesterday hurt me, man. Really hurt me. Because the more the teams above us wins, the more like we go down.
It's small blessings. It's like these small little crumbs that we're going after, man. Honestly, when we're bloody 5 points from bloody 10th, you know. I mean, it's these small crumbs that we're getting. Oh, can I have some more, sir? Please, sir, more, sir. You know what I mean? And it's driving me mad, to be honest with you. I mean, the league is wide open anyway.
There's no way consistent. There's no consistency in this league, man. Even Arsenal.
Villa, they're not consistent. No.
Villa, 3 points behind Arsenal. Villa, 3 points behind Arsenal, bro. Villa, who was at the bottom not so long ago. Man City, only 2 points. That's crazy.
Yeah. There you go, man. Fozi, thanks for joining me, man. Really appreciate you, my friend, for coming on, my guy, as usual. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Fozi's channel. Obviously, he's going to be a regular on the channel, hopefully. Fingers crossed, all being well. And yeah, look, Liverpool fan, but very down-to-earth Liverpool fan. We are two down-to-earth fans from the same generation, guys. Absolutely. And we like to talk about football in general stuff, guys. So don't forget to smash a like. Don't forget to subscribe to Fozi. He speaks about all other clubs as well. It's not just Liverpool, guys. He speaks about everyone. It's a fantastic channel. I don't know how you stay so calm, Fozi, to be honest with you. You're just so relaxed on your channel, mate. I don't know how you do it. I get angry and my throat's sore and everything after the stream. I feel like I'm going to have a stroke.
There you go, bro. There you go. There you go, man. It's gone to the hair now at the top, man. The greys are coming, guys. The greys are coming. But it's an experience of life, isn't it, my friend? I'm 47 next month, by the way. So I've seen it all. I've seen it all.
Yeah, you know, still young, mate. Still young. You've seen it all, though, innit? That's the thing. That's the main thing, isn't it? But thanks, Fozi, man. I'm going to be off now. I really appreciate you coming on. And guys, don't forget, as I said, don't forget to subscribe to Fozi's channel, and don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. Please, if you could smash a like on the video, that'd be absolutely fantastic, guys. Have a good one. Take it easy. Have a good evening. I'll see you tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, early in the morning, Breaking Dawn in. Now I'm yawning, 7 a.m., of course.
I love that.
That's what I'm going to be, guys. Thanks so much. See you soon, guys. Peace.
Take care. Peace out.